What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, Jasmy's had quite the interesting day, and I want to give you a quick little update as to what its price is doing, what you could be on the lookout for, and much more. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. And guys, don't forget, if you do want to start trading on up to 500x leverage on things like Bitcoin, Solana, Sui, Pepe, and many more, you can check out that BTCC link down below. If you sign up to BTCC specifically using my link, they're going to give you a 10% bonus on your first time deposit between $500 and $100,000. This means if you deposit, say, $3,000, they're going to give you $300 right then on the spot to start trading with. And whatever profit you make from that is completely yours, no strings attached. You can reinvest it, withdraw it, do whatever you want with it. It's a great opportunity to make literally free gains during the bull market. So if that is something that interests you, go check out that platform down below. It's a great trading platform. I use it all the time myself, so feel free to check it out and let me know what you think. Now, before we talk about what Jasmy is doing on some of the shorter term time frames, I want to give you a quick little run through as to what has been going on with Jasmy recently and what we've been tracking, because the context will help you understand better what is happening right now. So as you all know, we've been talking about Jasmy for quite a while now, but we had a moment back, towards the middle of the year where not much was happening. I told you all once we started to see some upward movement, like, hey, I'm not getting all too excited until Jasmy starts showing me signs that it's going to break this golden zone, because once it breaks the golden zone, then the door to 5.5 to 6 cents to 8.5 cents is wide open. And the funniest part is I remember we were back here after we got rejected off the golden zone the first time, and people were commenting, and because I said, okay, well, if we clear this golden zone right above us, I think that door towards 6 to 8.5 cents is wide open. And people were still a little bit, pessimistic about this move that we got here from Jasmy, and everyone was saying not going to happen, never going to happen. And well, what do you know? Jasmy's price starts making this move towards the upside, breaks through the golden zone, breaks through the previous high right around 4.5 cents, and you know what it does? It goes directly up to our first breakout target right there between 6 cents and 8.5 cents, hitting the nail on the head. And now after that, of course, as we did start pushing up towards that level, I was telling you guys, like, hey, we're getting a little bit overextended right now. I have some warning signs going off, and I want you to be careful. We saw this green printing here on the RSI. We saw it starting to overextend. We saw it hit the 90% threshold. And so I was like, hey, look, it's not going to be super surprising if Jasmy starts coming back down to some of these VPOSs or viable points of support and trying to use them to continue upwards. I actually told you that even though it would suck a little bit and Jasmy might pull back 20-30%, which it ended up pulling back 45%, which was way more than I was expecting, that you need to kind of appreciate these moments, because realistically bull markets consist of these things, and in order to make a move up like this, you need to have a move down like that. And so because of that, in this moment I was like, look, it might suck a little bit, but I think it's okay. I think we'll be in a good spot, and even if it does pull back, I'll probably do a little bit of buying, because I do expect Jasmy to try to build that support and continue upwards. Well, what that does is it actually takes us a little bit more into the modern day, as Jasmy's price has now started making that move downwards. We saw Jasmy's price come back down to retest that same golden zone we broke out of, and is trying to build up some support, now leading us into the modern day in which Jasmy is attempting to finally start making this move upwards. Now, in yesterday's video, and the recap's almost over, don't worry, but in yesterday's video, what I told you all was, okay, well, it's now become pretty obvious. There's a clear range here for Jasmy, and we just need to see which side of this range it breaks. The top side of the range is the micro Fibonacci zone. As you can see here, there's a top side Fibonacci golden zone that sits right above us. And you remember how I told you previously, if you break that golden zone, you're going to pump? Well, we're in a similar spot for this with Jasmy now. If Jasmy's price can maintain and break above this golden zone, the door is wide open to the upside. But if Jasmy's price comes back to the downside and gets rejected off this golden zone, it could be bounds enough to say that a pullback of another 30 to 40% could be on the way. So in yesterday's video, I was really just laying out this range for you and telling you this is what you really need to be watching. Not what Jasmy's going to do tomorrow or the next day. No. I need you to zoom out a little bit and watch this range between $5.01 and let's go ahead and realistically call it 3.5 cents, because whichever side of this we break out first is going to determine where we go from there. Now, we were back here when that was happening, and I told you, as this all does play out, as we do get signs and signals, I'll kind of let you know what I'm seeing. Well, we are getting some more signs and signals from this move that we've gotten over the last 12 hours, and I want to let you know what is going on now. So now that you're fully caught up to date, and sorry for the long-winded recap there, but now that you are fully caught up to date, let's shift a little bit into what is happening right now, what these signs and signals are, and what we can be expecting next. And look, I will give you a little bit of a warning as we go into the next portion of the video that things may get a little bit complicated here, especially if you are a little new or if you're more advanced, but you're just trying to add some of these tools to your toolbox. And so all that I suggest and all that I will tell you, if you are someone who's trying to get better at this whole crypto thing and these things get a little complicated or confusing, is just to stick around to the end of the video. At the end of the video, we'll have gone through things much more thoroughly, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Discord community that we are seeing people generating hundreds of percentages and gains in every single day as a result of all the workshops, live streams, classes, and more. So again, if you're one of those people who's just trying to get better at this whole crypto thing, all that I ask from you, just stick around until the end of the video. So over the last 12 to 24 hours, what we've been seeing from Jasmy has actually been quite bullish, and it started to make the situation easier on us as investors. As investors, our whole goal is we want to be able to get a good understanding of what's very likely to happen. We obviously can't predict what's going to happen, but we like to know what's likely to happen. And what we've seen from Jasmy recently has made that a little bit easier. Now, the reason that I say that is because Jasmy has now put us in a situation to where, quite frankly, if it does not start breaking this golden zone right now, it's probably going to become quite obvious that Jasmy is going to start pulling back to the downside, and it's even given us an extra level to validate that or to be able to verify that. Now, what I mean by all this, and I know that is all a little bit confusing, is the fact that Jasmy is now giving a second push towards the golden zone. And what I've noticed historically is that in moments just like this, whenever you come up to the golden zone, you get rejected, you find support and go back up to it. If you get rejected here again, if you're unable to break up through or just into it at least, again, and you immediately get rejected, the likelihood is that you're going to start trying to find more support towards these lower levels. And a situation like this with Jasmy, historically from what I've noticed, if it gets rejected here and over the next 24 to 48 hours is not capable of breaking over to 4.676 level, we're probably going to see Jasmy's price pull anywhere from what could be 11 to 12% to the downside to as low as 22% to the downside. And although that's obviously not a good thing and you don't really want to say that, I do like when we have moments like this, because remember, my goal is just have a good idea of what's happening next so I can be prepared for it. And so what this means for me with Jasmy is that sure, it's had a fantastic day today, up 11%, but it's still struggling here and we're still in battle mode. And so what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be watching what happens with Jasmy here like a hawk, because quite frankly, like I said, if it fails here and it starts to get rejected, we're very likely headed back towards 4.1 cents or 4.2 cents. And it's not a guarantee, but we're talking 60-70% chance we head back towards these lower levels. And sure, I suppose that even from there's a support level that might hold the price up, so all is not lost, but things start to just get way more sketchy when we do that. Because I mean, imagine if we start to create the little head and shoulders pattern, or imagine we lose this level and we get a little SR flip, a support to resistance flip. That's likely going to put us in a bad spot. And what you have to remember is that we are still under threat. There is still the threat here right now of the ABC correction, which is an A wave to the downside, a B wave retracement, and a C wave continuation. Now, this is not textbook Elliott's wave theory, but it is just three-wave theory. And this is still a risk. I know people don't want to accept that it's a risk, but it is very much so a risk. And so what I want to see from Jasmy's price right now is that it doesn't fall below 4.1 cents. I want to see it break into that golden zone. And so this big old range that we had previously is now starting to kind of contract a little bit, and it's getting smaller and smaller. The breakout we're looking for is getting closer and closer. And so what I want you to watch out for, and what all of this means, is that, well, we got a good sign in the sense that Jasmy's price held support and tried to push up here. We are seemingly creating a bit of a cup and handle pattern. The only weird thing about it is that we do have this big wick. So that's a little bit of an oddball, right? If we got the close just right here without that wick, I would say this is obviously a cup and handle pattern, making it much more likely that Jasmy does push upwards, but it isn't a textbook one, so I just have to kind of just throw that out there but not rely on it too much. And I'm just going to say that, hey, now's the moment. Today's the day, right? I want to see within the next 48 hours, at least, maybe not today's the day, right? The next 48 hours or so, that Jasmy can push up into this golden zone. I need to see it be able to get above 4.67 cents, because if it can't, it's going to become, guys, much more likely that we get a 12 to 24% correction to the downside. Now, am I scared of that? No, absolutely not. I'm not even particularly worried about it, because if Jasmy's price does start capitulating, I think this is the final capitulation before we start pumping anyway. So I'll happily start buying, but I at least want to be aware and ready for and know that that is coming, and I want you to as well. And so with that in mind, the current game plan, the strategy, the whole point of even today's video is that since we've now seen Jasmy's price push back up towards this golden box up here, it forces Jasmy to make a decision. Are you going to break above 4674 and start getting your way into this golden box or not? Because if you don't, the likelihood is that we're going to start seeing this thing pull back. We're going to see it first probably come back towards 411, and if it loses support here, probably head back even lower towards 3.5 cents, and things very well get ugly. And so I wanted to kind of give that to you so you can lay these levels out on your chart. Drop in this key level of support right here at 4135. Put in your key level of resistance at the 4674 level and start studying it and keep an eye on it, because I know I post one video a day, but this thing might move real fast before the next video comes out, and I want you to be prepared for it. And so my current strategy is still to sit back and watch. I'm not buying, I'm not selling, not longing, not shorting, I'm not doing anything, because we're in a range. I don't like making moves in range. Why? Because I'm just guessing at that point. I would rather sit back, allow Jasmy to either break out of this zone to the top side or break down below this zone, and then I'm in a spot to where it's very obvious, in my opinion, where it's going. Then I can start making moves. So although I'm not making any plays yet today, I am going to be watching it very closely, and I'm getting closer and closer to making some moves. So do watch this close, drop these levels on your chart, and tomorrow I'll give you another update as these things, of course, do play out. Now, if you're someone who's just trying to get better at this whole crypto thing, I highly recommend you joining the Discord server. Okay, guys, in the Discord server, what you're going to get are insights with Tyler, which are my thoughts and insights, some of the things that I'm buying and selling, some moves I'm making, my portfolio, and much more. For example, on the 9th, in that huge dip, we were buying all of these different cryptos, and all of them are up 20 to 30% now. We have exclusive live shows every single day. We have daily technical analysis reports that get released on the same cryptos I make videos about, daily fundamental analysis reports on the market itself. I have 2 teams of professional traders who post their buy and sell alerts every single day, and you need to think, these are people who live off of trading. These are professional trade teams, and they're giving you their buy and sell signals, which is absolutely insane. We have premium classes on things like bull market investing, the Fibonacci's, the Bollinger Bands. We have beginners courses on things like leverage trading and technical analysis for beginners, and many more of these releasing. These are 30-minute long, 20-page presentation, vocabulary sheet, cheat sheet presentation. I mean, we got so much going on in these technical analysis and leverage trading for beginners courses. You got to check those out. We have these 2 to 3 minute long videos called Tips with Tyler, where we just go over random stuff, and you can pause it to see what sort of videos there are there. And all these things combined are generating the community hundreds of percentages and gains every single day, quite simply because people are using these lessons to turn them into strategies, taking those strategies and turning them into real life profits and gains. Look at this guy yesterday, putting in multiple trades at over 100% gains on ICP. Absolutely insane stuff. So if you do want access to this, head down to the Patreon link down below, guys. It's the cost of a Netflix subscription or cheaper. It's either $17 a month or $5 a month. And I think that is a crazy good deal. And we actually have one more tier up releasing on Monday, so do stay tuned for that. But go feel free to check that out down below. I do think it's a very good deal, and it has clearly helped hundreds of people elevate. We're currently at 729 members just in the last month. So if you do want to join that, check that link out down below. Don't forget, guys, we post 6, 7, 8 videos here on the channel every single day. So if you have been enjoying them, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.